Howdy there, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to another episode of our Satisfactory Let's Play adventure. The moon. Wow. How about them apples, boy? The moon is high in the sky, and we're enjoying just an absolutely beautiful evening here at the new power facility that I want to show you. So, yeah, I've been a bit of a busy boy since the last episode. I've grown weary of running out of power, and I wanted to make sure it never happened again, but I also wanted to make sure that it was nice and tidy and orderly, and also there was room for expansion. So even though I haven't actually gone through and built the platform up any bigger, there's plenty of room in this direction if we ignore this giant ring here. I mean, we can at least expand out this side, or perhaps we can expand out that way and just double what we've got here. But what we have here, speaking of which, I guess I should talk about it, we have 10 fuel generators, and quite a bit of lag every so often, just big old spikes. But this has given us a capacity of 1,700 megawatt hours. It's crazy, and I'm happy with that. And surprisingly, we're using close to. Now, right now, keep in mind, not all the facilities are running at full speed. Some things have finished production and therefore are not operating anymore, which is scary to think about, because it means that if everything just went online immediately, we might not have enough power here still. But I've got all of this accomplished by using a lot of our overclocking upgrades. And if we take a look in here, yeah, we should be building up a backlog. I did the math on this, and I thought that the math meant we needed 150 oil per minute. And I guess my math was wrong, because I've got this one producing 75, this one producing 75. That's 150 if you do math. And as you can see, we're building up a backlog. I'm not sure why. I mean, my math was based off the idea that it consumes one of these, per second. Or per 5 seconds, I'm sorry. Every 5 seconds it consumes one of these entire things. And then, I did the appropriate math out of that, and I came up to 150. But clearly, I was wrong, and that's not accurate, because it's not consuming that much. And we have a back catalog, and we can probably remove a couple of the upgrades here. But all of the oil necessary for this, and yeah, we're actually doing just fine for oil collection, as you can see. It's being collected by one of these with absolutely no overclocks. It just pulls 240 per minute, and everything in the world's fine, which is absolutely nutty. But for now, for this exact moment, power isn't an issue. Now, how long is that going to be a thing? How long is power not going to be an issue? I can't fully tell you, because I don't really know. Also, I think I was supposed to come back when I had more. Oh, I got some more. Yeah, okay. I was trying to build conveyor belts across this, because it's a bit of a pain in the neck to cross otherwise. But for right now, we're going to land, and we need to build another oil refinery over here, because we need plastic. And we're going to be piping that back to not necessarily an Omni facility. I've decided to build a factory capable of manufacturing the three things we need to get to our next tier of unlock space elevator? Yeah, the space elevator unlock. And for that, we just need a pretty basic assembly system. And I've already got a spot prepared that I'm looking forward to show you. But right now, let's go ahead and build ourselves an oil refinery. We'll plop that bad boy down. No need to be too precise. I can pretty easily come back and rearrange all this at a later date if I need to, or maybe add a second one. Put them all on platforms and the like. So we're just going to plop it down right there. And then we're going to hope against hope that we can make this angle. I don't think that we can. Shrek me sideways, we've done it. Excellent. And then we want you to manufacture plastic. And I don't think we need fuel or rubber manufactured at the present moment. Plastic should do it. It will need power, and I think oh my gosh, that post is so far away. It's very unlikely it's going to reach. We can try. Yeah, wire's too long. There we go. So, did that not connect? Did that not? I pushed the buttons. There we go. Well, let's just pretend like everything worked out fine. So, we need a lot of plastic. So, I'm going to go ahead. We have a few of these on hand, these power shards. So, I'm going to go ahead and just overclock this bad boy to the max. And, we'll turn it down later if the situation requires. But, I mean, even fully overclocked, that's only giving us, what, 45 per minute? Well, no, 56.25 per minute. Although it's 3 plastics. So is this one? Wait, hold on a minute. Maybe this might be why I've been doing my math wrong this whole time. Shrek me. Is this 56.25 plastics per minute, or is it a set of 3 plastics? So 56.25 sets of plastics per minute. Or is it 39 plastics per minute? Oh no, that's how many are stored in there. Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong with my math all this time. Wait just a dadgum minute. Wait just a shrekking second. Let me go back over here and check how much fuel is being manufactured. This could potentially be the answers to all my confusion. Some of you, no doubt, are sitting in the comfort of your homes, on a bus, in the backseat of a car, at a boring older relative's house, watching this video, thinking to yourself, Rees, you absolute blundering fool. 5 fuels, 75 per minute. Is it producing 75 fuels per minute? Or 75 sets of 5 fuels? If that's the case, well then, oh my gosh, no, it can't be. No, that can't be the case, because that would be an obscene amount of fuel. This would be filling up so much faster. That cannot be what's happening. This would be just an endless flow. This would be an endless flow. I mean, look at that. There's no way that's going across fast enough. Because that would mean that this would have to be going, if it was 75 per minute, and it was a set of 5, it would need to be going more than 1 per second. Right? It would have to be zoop, 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 zooping across there. So no, that's not, alright. Look at that, we found the answer, everyone. We don't have to leave the episode wondering whether or not that is the case. There's no wondering here, nor wandering. Not since that episode where we wandered all over the place and wondered at the wonders of the world while we were wandering. That's no longer necessary. We've got the answers we seek. So, we're going to go ahead, and we're going to hook this up to our travel conveyor belt for now, until we get a train. Once we get trains, which is kind of what we're working toward as well, because it's the same things we need to unlock trains as what we need to unlock the monorail. So, you know, until we get that unlocked, we can go ahead and just use this conveyor system that we've already built. Because it already runs all the way from here back to where the facility is going to be. My gosh, look at it all. Look at all the beautiful plastic. We are now ahead of the plastic. What, we are moving faster than the plastic? How does that work? Doesn't matter. I have connected this thing up here all the way down to the steel facility. I have not the steel facility all the way down to the... Whoa. Whoa, that was weird. Oh, no, it wasn't. That makes perfect sense. I looked up and noticed the FPS dropped to 30 on the input. But that's the live reading of the frame rate being sent to the capture card from this computer. So when this card stutters, of course the frame rate's going to drop on the capture side. I'm sorry. This is all unnecessary. What I was trying to say is I have not yet gone from the Steelworks, the steel facility. What did we call it? We called it the Ironworks, but then I think we called it the steel facility. Why didn't we call it the Steelworks? Isn't that a thing? I know an Ironworks is a thing, but I don't actually know about Steelworks. But yeah, so this conveyor belt here is connected around that corner now. It didn't used to be. So that plastic is going to run all the way down here, and then I'm going to have to create an additional conveyor belt, potentially a temporary one, to just kind of carry it the rest of the way over here. Speaking of the rest of the way over here, I guess I should show you folks what else I have done. Actually, let me go ahead and build this conveyor belt, and then I'll show you. Oh, look at this. I can see plastic materializing very slowly on the horizon. Oh yeah, it's becoming a bit more fluid. I had sort of hoped I would be able to beat it, but this is as much as I've managed so far. But it's finally here, and you can see it coming along in little bursts there in the distance. Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Loving it. Bop, 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 bop. Alrighty then. We've managed to get it over here. And speaking of what is over here, you might be wondering. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're going to be assembling this stuff. Now, I know this isn't the biggest area, and it's definitely not going to work for an Omni facility like I had originally planned and talked about, but that's because that's not what it's here for. This facility here is only here for me to... Can I fly through this? No, it's a solid object. I'm pushing forward, but I cannot fly through it. Why? Whose idea was this? Someone change it. Coffee Stain Studio! What are you doing? We just need to manufacture computers, motors, and heavy modular frames. Heavy modular frames is just a matter of mixing together ingredients, We do have to build a stator assembler, but then from that we're already making rotors. And then here, there's actually quite a bit that has to be... Well, no, actually, it's just the chips. We just have to make the chips over here, so that won't be too bad. And I've already kind of started the process. I don't have anything flowing along this conveyor belt, but this is going to bring all of the steel objects. Or, I'm sorry, all of the iron objects. And then we've got another one over here that's going to be all of the bronze, or copper, I should say. I'm sorry. I apologize. There's no tin. How are we going to get bronze? It's copper. And then all of our steel. And this is going to work, assuming that a little object I've never built before works the way that I think it is, and that's the smart splitter. The smart conveyor belt splits conveyor belts in 3. You can set a rule for which parts go left and which parts should go to the right, and it doesn't say anything about going straight, but hopefully it will work, and hopefully this will work to separate the items coming from, like, let's say, the steel facility. We've got 2 or 3 different items coming from over there. We need to be able to divide them up evenly and have them go to different places. So we need to actually build at least, let me see here, 1, 2, 3 of these. Yeah, 3 of these. No, these are just conveyor mergers. 1, 2, 3 of these bad boys, which do require AI limiters, which now that I'm looking at it, I don't think I ever built one of those before. And if I have, I certainly don't remember it. Maybe it's part of a quest or something. Was I supposed to do that? Wasn't there something in here that I said a while back I would go ahead and build for this computer? What was it? What do you want, ma'am? Hard drives and supercomputers. No, then. I guess not. Guess I'm imagining that. AI limiters. Can I build an AI limiter? It'd be under computers. Apparently I can. It requires circuit boards, and that's it. So we need 3 of these. And then we need 3 motors. So I'm going to add that to the list as well. 3. All right. I'm going to get all these objects together. Shouldn't take too long. My first AI limiter. And I wonder if maybe now that we've got these, if we take them up to the ma'am, is the ma'am going to be like, oh, no, she's not. She does still want a supercomputer. I say ma'am. Is it Ada? Is its name Ada, or is that the supercomputer? The ma'am is the computer. And then, I can't remember. Can we make a supercomputer? We can make an AI limiter. This is a question I feel... Oh, we can't. Oh. Oh. It's not really all that difficult either. I mean, I've never built a high-speed connector. It's all for later. It's all... Well... What if giving this... wait, that makes 8 of them? Or maybe... No, it makes 1. Right, okay. And it wants 10? It might be worth something doing. I don't know what it's going to unlock. It'll probably unlock something dumb, like an alternative recipe or some nonsense like that. But let's go ahead and... Well, heck, I guess we can just build one of these right now. And then we can take a look at the interface and see what it's all about. Oh, yeah, okay, it really does... It has left, right, and center. You can do non-specified, but I'm assuming that just sends through... Oh, any unidentified, none. Oh, what does this one do? We can also set it to none, but what is that middle option there? Just rotate? What do you mean rotate? Any undefined. That's probably what we want. I think I said unidentified a second ago, but that's... not at all what that word says. Okay, this is going to be swell. Now what we need to do is we need to get the materials necessary to build, and I think it would be under organization, several industrial storage containers. I'm going to say we need enough material for 10 of the darn things. I mean, that's a lot, and I doubt that's how many we'll need, but we're going to need a lot. So let's head over and get those. So for me, it is important that we have local storage on hand to act as a buffer, as well as, you know, to aid with the splitting. Can I not put that up in the air? I'm going to have to put it down here, which of course means that, oh, it's going to take up a bit of space. But we'll throw that bad boy down there, like that. And hopefully this will connect. Yeah, I was worried the incline might be a bit too much. But in it'll go, and then we need to build... It'll be under organization. We'll need to get ourselves some of these bad boys right here. And we'll set them up like this. And we'll leave no gaps in between, because gaps are for losers and dweebs. I can't get it to set up correctly. Maybe I am a loser and a dweeb. So we want to configure this bad boy to have the center... be, and it doesn't really matter, but let's say it'll be cables, And then the right. Which way is right? Is this the back? And then the center is there, so this is the right, and this is the. It depends on what direction you're facing it from. Is this the front, and therefore it's left and then right, or is the input the front? I don't know. I got no idea. Presumably this will work though. So if there was cables, they would go through there. You know what? Let's set it up. My assumption is that the back, that the input is this is the front. The output is the front. So this is the left side. So let's say left output needs to be copper cables. And I'm sure that they're in here. I believe. Wire. So if we hook that up. Okay, so this is the front, and therefore the right side is going to be wire. A, and then this one is just going to be none, because there's nothing. But there we go! So down there, we've got a merger, merging together the copper cable and the wire, and then it smartly splits off right here at the smart splitter, and we start to get cable and copper wire. And it works, which is great. So we need to have another 1, 2, I'm going to say 3 of those, even though I don't think we need regular steel beams, and possibly I should check before I bring over regular steel beams. So for the heavy modular frame, no, we only need the encased beams. Regular beams aren't necessary. Circuit boards don't require any beams at all, but we do need those. Let's see. You don't require beams, you don't require beams, and you don't require beams. So we only need 2 items from there, so we really only need 1 splitter, and we'll throw it down right here. And I am going to have to move that input behind us. I'll show you what I mean here in a second, but we'll put this, yeah, we'll line it up like that, and it's facing the wrong direction. One thing I am going to do, though, is I'm going to adjust where this line is coming in at, so that they're all nice and straight and go directly to where they need to be. And that won't be too much of a hassle. In fact, it's so easy, I'm already done. I've already forgotten how to set this thing up. So it's the right output is on this side. This is the right side, this is the left side. So the input side is basically considered the front, I guess. And here we're going to do our steel, and I still haven't found what I'm looking for. We're going to have our steel pipes go out the right. Out the center, we'll have our steel beams. As soon as I find them, and I'm sure that they're right here in front of me, our encased industrial. And then once again, nothing from the left. Absolutely nothing. We don't want anything from the left. It can just keep itself shut. And we actually have to go hook this up now because I don't have it hooked up yet. Now, one thing I don't want to do is use up all of my encased industrial beams on this little project. So I'm not going to hook up all 3 of these. I'm going to leave this one down here by itself, and it's going to kind of be like my own special, like, personal supply. And then we'll hook up these 2, and those will start going down the line and be split. And, of course, that includes the ones that are being manufactured, so that's going to run empty. And there's not really anything we can do about that unless we want to speed up production of these over here. Which, I mean, I guess we could. Well, is each one of these already sped up with a single upgrade? Yes. Yes, they are. So, I mean, if it comes down to it, it's not as though we are necessarily hurting for these. I mean, how many do I have on me right now at this very moment? Well, first off, we've got a slug, but then we've got 34 of these, so we could speed it up a bit more. But I don't know if that's going to be the bottleneck in the system, really. We'll have to wait and find out. And then as far as beams, I don't rightly know how many of those we're going to need anyway, but we'll go ahead and hook up like 2 of them. And then that'll kind of throttle the amount coming out of here as well. I mean, not to an appreciable degree, but, you know, the fact that it has to share along this line is something, at least. Let's go down the ways, and let's make sure that it is all arriving where it ought to be. Travel by freaking high-speed conveyor belt is the best, by the way. So far, it's only encased industrial beams, but I think we got this set up correctly. Here they come. Here they come. I can see them. They're bebopping their way down here. My gosh, the frame rate, though. You'd think an 8-core, 3rd-gen Ryzen CPU would be able to keep up. What do I have? I don't even remember what my CPU is anymore. I was keeping very close track of it for the longest time. If someone asked me what kind of CPU I had, I could answer. I can't answer anymore. It's a 30... Is there 3800 a thing? Ryzen 7, the 3700, or it's a 30... It's not a 37. It might be a 37X or 38. I can't remember. There was a 1800. I had the 1700, and then I think I had a 2700X, and I think I have a 3800 now. I might have a 3700. I wanted the 16 core, but I couldn't justify it. Become a patron supporter. Patreon.com/Howdy, folks, to help support my unnecessary PC hardware upgrades. 16 cores. How cool would it be, though? Like, honestly. I do have a 16-core processor. I bought, not even that long ago, a 1st-gen Ryzen CPU. And the reason is, I got the 16-core 1st-gen, not Ryzen, I'm sorry, the 1st-gen Threadripper 16-core. A lot of people that I told about that at the time were like, that's nuts, 3rd-gen's coming out soon. I was like, I know. And plus there was that, it was before the 16-core Ryzen CPU would even come out yet. And they were like, why don't you just get that? And I said, well, look, here's the reason. The 16-core Threadripper CPU is dummy cheap right now. And I think it's gotten even cheaper since. Unlike the Ryzen lineup, the Threadripper lineup has 64 PCIe lanes, and I've heard people say, but they're Gen 3. Yeah, I don't care how fast they are. I don't need Gen 4 PCIe. I just need a lot of lanes, and there's 64 lanes on Threadripper. It's stupid cheap, and so I got a 1st-gen Threadripper with the 64 PCIe lanes for stupid cheap, and I put it not in my gaming PC. That would be ridiculous. It's in the capture PC, actually. And that's one of the reasons why we no longer have weird dropout issues where a camera will disappear in the middle of a stream, or my mouse will stop working. It's because we have all those PCIe lanes, literally everything plugged into it. It's no longer doing like some crazy PLX switching and dropping things anymore. So it's great. I'm loving it. And of course, I can go all the way up to the top tier Ryzen Gen 2 CPU if I wanted to. Now, I can't drop a new Ryzen, or not Ryzen, I'm sorry, Threadripper. I can go all the way up to the top tier Threadripper chip if I wanted to. I think a 32-core? I think it's a 32-core. There is, of course, a 64-core Threadripper on Threadripper 3, but you have to get a new motherboard for that. I'm happy with what I've got in the capture PC. It is exceeding expectations, and then some. It's absolutely great. But look at this! I'm happy about this, too. Check this out. This is all filling up nicely. Now, this is going to get a bit wonky in a second. You know, I think we're going to run out of goods before either of these fills up, but... Well, no, this should fill up, because it's emptying 2, one of which was completely full, into 1. So it should be fine. And then both of these will probably fill up. I reckon that it's going to stall here in a second once those are completely empty. Because they're not manufacturing enough to keep up with this level of output. But there you have it. And now the final step is going to be way the heck over here, where we put together the output for the iron items. But do we want to do that over there, or do we want to do that over here? Do we want to redirect the items all the way from over there to over here and have them be sorted out in a row? I think we do. I think we do. I think we want everything kind of neatly tucked away. So what am I going to need to bring from over there is the real question. What do we need to manufacture? So we know that we're going to need screws. So there's one item from over there. And we're going to need the frames. So that's 2. Screws and frames. And then we'll need nothing there. Rotors. So that's 3 items. And more screws. I guess that's it. I guess that's all we're going to need. Okay, so 3 items. We'll only need 1 splitter. All right. I think these 2 are going to go. Yes, indeed. Click and clack. Tick and tack. This whole thing is real whack. I wish that I knew who came up with this idea. I do. I wish I knew. But now everything is moving along. Listen to me sing my song. It's a joyous noise that I raise to the heavens as I tell you a tale of Devons. A group of men called Devon. It's the tale of Devons. That's a dumb song. I've got the splitter set up already, if you have a look in here. And everything should just start going to where it should need to go. Yes, yes. And then the third object arrives shortly afterward to go in the other direction. Yes! It's perfect! It's dinner time! Da-da-da. Okay, well, we managed to get everything here now. That's a start. Surprisingly, the one I'm most worried about is the plastic. In this time, that's as much as we've gotten. I mean, compare that to everything else, it's basically almost full. Wait, what? Huh? That doesn't make any sense. It's coming in 1-to-1. Huh. Okay, well, you know what? Something simply cannot be explained. I guess we'll resume this next time. We're going to build the actual factory, build the actual facility. And, I mean, I haven't really thought through exactly what we're going to need for that. I guess we can do a little bit of logistics real quick. So, let's go ahead and brush ourselves up on the terms. And as constructors make 1, assemblers combine 2 items, manufacturers combine 4 items. We're going to need, maybe I should write these things down. That's going to need an assembler. So we need an assembler. And then we need the one that's not a constructor, the one that does 2. So 1, 4 and 1, 2. You guys are following, right? And then, so 2 2s and 1 4. 3 2s and 1 4. 3 2s and 2 4s. Yeah? 3 2s, assemblers, 3 of these, and 2 manufacturers. We're going to work on getting these objects, and when we come back next time, we'll build the actual factory. Thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Bye!